All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the Sheriff for Sonoma County, our Grand Marshal, Mr. Mark Ide.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
From the rain of Alabama a week ago to the sunshine of the Bay Area, NASCAR Winston Cup teams have crossed the Golden Gate Bridge and come to the hills of Northern California, whose valleys produce some of the greatest wine in the world. Serenity usually surrounds this valley, but today the ear-splitting sound of race cars ascends from Sears Point Raceway.
It should surprise no one that Rusty Wallace was one of two drivers to break the track record here at Sears Point. You know, road racing Rusty has won more in the modern era than any other driver, 6 times. And today, he rides a rocket that propelled him to victory a year ago. They nicknamed the car Killer. That's what it did to the competition both here and in Japan in 1996.
On Friday, Mark Martin won the pole with a track record. Today, he hopes to break a personal record. He hasn't been to victory lane in 42 races. That's the longest winless streak since the first win in his career. Right now, he's on the pole. In 74 laps, Mark Martin hopes to be in victory lane.
Ricky Rudd and road racing are a great combination. They're meant for each other, sort of like Fred and Ginger, Siskel and Ebert, Patrick and Overman. You get the idea. Ricky has sort of mastered the high act of fast speed finesse on the high ovals. His floorboard footwork would make even Arthur Murray proud. So don't be surprised if this tied ride tangos its way toward the front.
Wally Dallenbach has 117 Winston Cup starts and no wins. He broke a motor in final practice here on Saturday, so he didn't get to test his setup. They've gambled this morning. Very seldom is a guy who's never won a race one of the favorites. But believe me, this guy rolling off here truly is today.
Only once in the 8-year history of this race did a driver come from the back of the field to win. Actually, it happened twice in the same race, and Ernie Irvan was the man to do it. He said, my secret, I try to outbrake him in turn 11. This morning, his team changed the motor, the transmission, and the rear gear in the car because he said braking won't be enough. I need to get off turn 11. I'm going to do it all with second and third gear if it stays in the car.
In qualifying on Friday, Dale Earnhardt went out early on a slick track, on stickers instead of scuffs, in a brand new seat. Yesterday, they did not have the proper combination for final practice, and Earnhardt parked the car after just a handful of laps. They've made the changes to the car this morning, and Dale Earnhardt's new seat is now on the rig. He's in his old, comfortable seat. Earnhardt hasn't been to victory lane in a long time, and today he starts 32nd. But he also is one of the favorites at Sears Point on this sunny Sunday.
Last week at Talladega, we talked about Martinsville and Bristol being such mechanical racetracks. And at Talladega, all the drivers were concerned about was air and trying to get aerodynamics to get the car through the air. But here in the beautiful Sonoma Valley, there's one other concern. Not only do they have to worry about engines, gears, brakes, but the transmission. That baby's allowed to lay down the ground any lap, Ned.
Yes, it could happen. And Benny, this is a driver's racetrack as well. They have to have complete concentration all the time. They change gears at least 14 times a lap, some of them more than that. There are 12 turns on this racetrack, lots of places you can goof up out there. And so it is a driver's racetrack, so it puts every part of racing into play here. Car, mechanical parts of the car, and of course the driver.
ESPN, the world leader in motorsports coverage, welcomes you live to Sears Point Raceway near Sonoma, California, and the St. Mart's Supermarket's 300 NASCAR Winston Cup race. It's the 9th event of the year, and Dale Jarrett continues to cling to a points lead he has had since the 4th race of the season. The margin only 45, however, over the defending series champion Terry Labonte. 6 through 10 separated by only 47 points. 7th, 8th, and 9th separated by only 4 markers. Hi everyone, I'm Bob Jenkins. What a difference in weather since last weekend. Not a cloud in the sky here today in Sonoma. Now, since last weekend, the teams have gone back, reloaded, and made the long trek out here to the West Coast, When they're finished, they'll make the long trek back to Talladega for next Saturday's event. Now today, one of 2 road course races on the schedule. It's a race that a lot of Winston Cup drivers don't take too kindly to. On the other hand, other drivers, it's their opportunity for a day in the spotlight. 5 onboard cameras will be in use today. Here's Ricky Craven as he takes the Budmobile up the hill. Hut Strickland also has the Circuit City onboard camera working for us. Here is the Briggs & Stratton onboard camera, the car driven by Robbie Gordon. Also, Ricky Rudd will carry an onboard camera. He should provide some great shots for us. Rusty Wallace has one as he begins this race from the outside of the front row. And Mark Martin also has the onboard camera, and he is the pole sitter for this event. One more warm-up lap, so we're going to take a break. Stand by for the start of the Mart Supermarkets 300 from Sears Point. ESPN's live coverage of the Mart Supermarkets 300 from Sears Point Raceway near Sonoma, California is being brought to you by the owners, managers, and crew who proudly call the McDonald's in your neighborhood My McDonald's. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you that fresh beer tastes better. And by Quaker State Motor Oil for a clean running engine. Let's take a look at our race analysis as we get set to take the green flag here. We'll go 74 laps. The track record is held by Ernie Irvin, who set it back in 1992. They'll need to come in for fuel between laps 26 and 32, and the purse is over $1.8 million. As far as the manufacturers are concerned, Ford leads the manufacturers' battle by just 2 points over Chevrolet. Ford has 23 representatives in today's field. Chevrolet 13. There are 8 Pontiacs. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Now, the pole sitter has his choice of starting inside or outside. Mark Martin will line up on the outside of the front row, so these two will actually flip-flop. It's Mark Martin's 4th career road course pole. Rusty Wallace is the defending champion. In the second row, Jeff Gordon has won the last 2 Winston Cup events, looking for his first road course race win. Terry Labonte, 5th place in the last 2 events here. Brett Bodine has his best start of 1997. Michael Waltrip, his best road course finish was 9th. Jeff Bodine won the most recent road course race at Watkins Glen. Dale Jarrett has 2 top 10s in 21 road course races. Wally Dallenbach finished 3rd here last year. Ricky Rudd has 5 road course wins. In the 11th position, Kyle Petty with 1 road course win, and Ted Musgrave. Starting 13th and 14th, Bill Elliott, who was injured last year and missed this race, and Ward Burton, who is 11th in points this year. He was 38th in points at this time last year.
Inside of row 8, Kenny Schrader, 6 straight top 10 Sears Point finishes, in Sterling Marlin on the outside. In row 9 on the inside, John Andretti. He'll be on the pole at Talladega next Saturday. And Robbie Gordon, who had the fastest time in practice. Then it comes Mike Skinner, the top leading rookie. He has 2 2/3 in the trucks here. And Jeff Burton, the Texas winner. Row 11, Derek Cope. And there's Hut Strickland. He's carrying her onboard, Circuit City onboard. In row 12, Bobby Hamilton and Ernie Irvin. He's a 2-time winner here at Sears Point. In row 13, Jimmy Spencer and DW, the fastest qualifier in second round. And in the 14th row, Tom Hubert, who was a tire changer last week, a race car driver this week, and Butch Gilliland, the last winner in the West to West Series.
And in row 15, Bobby Labonte, who crashed during qualifying on Friday, driving a backup car here today. And Dave Marcus, with a good qualifying run, will start 30th. Row 16, we see Bobby Hillen Jr. in the car number 77. Dale Earnhardt, don't look for him to stay back there too long. Row 17, we find Steve Grissom, and Mike Wallace made a good qualifying run to get in the field. Johnny Benson will start on the inside of row 18, along with Kenny Wallace, who won the pole a few weeks ago at Martinsville, Virginia. Lance Hooper, subbing for Greg Sachs, will start 37th, and Ken Peterson qualified the car number 19, but Gary Bradbury will be driving it. Those taking provisionals for the race today are Jeremy Mayfield, Ricky Craven, Morgan Shepherd, Jeff Davis, and 2 Winston West drivers, Sean Woodside and Larry Gulselman.
Those are the 44 drivers that are set to go. They were going to get the green, however, there is a can on the track, some debris, so they're going to take 1 more lap before they get the green flag. Now, here are the drivers that missed the event. Rick Mast, Joe Nemechek, R.K. Smith, Robert Presley, Chad Little, Gary Smith, David Green, Dick Trickle, and Chuck Pruitt all had to go home after qualifying. We'll be right back. Starting field comes up through the S's. They're just a short distance away from the green flag. Last week, rain out on Sunday and Monday, but we are back at Talladega this coming Saturday with NASCAR today at 1 o'clock Eastern Time over on the Deuce. And live coverage of the Winston 500 will be live at 1:30 here on ESPN. That is next Saturday. Dr. Jerry Punch.
If you're wondering why Mark Martin is starting on the outside of row one when he's the pole sitter, that's a NASCAR rule in any race, be it an oval track or a road course. The pole sitter can decide to start on the inside or the outside. It's rarely done. About 3 or 4 years ago, Ricky Rudd started where Mark Martin is starting today. But why did he choose that? Well, turn one is the fastest part of the racetrack. He wants to be on the outside so he doesn't get bottled in going up that hill in heavy traffic. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Well, Doc, another guy to watch today is Mark Martin's teammate, Jeff Burton. He's a big beneficiary of the rain out of Talladega. Wasn't feeling well last week, feels great this week, qualified 20th, but his laps have gotten faster every time he's got out on the track. And his crew's optimistic Jeff Burton will have a strong finish on the road course here at Sears Point.
Beautiful field of cars and people everywhere. Well over 100,000 people have gathered to see this NASCAR Winston Cup event. They come off of corner number 11 looking for the green flag to begin the race, and the green is out. We are underway. Martin has gotten off to a great start as they work their way through the S's. He's leading Rusty Wallace, but by less than a car length, and Jeff Gordon has moved into third spot. Looks like everybody is on course and doing well here in the first lap.
Well, it's absolutely amazing these guys are able to get in line. Now that two abreast. And look at Dallenbach on the inside. He's already passed Jeff Bodine. Now he's trying on Brett Bodine. He has position.
You notice they've moved those tires in so you can actually run across and even inside those rumble strips to get position there in turn number 11. The first lap is complete and Mark Martin is showing the way. Wally Dallenbach up to 5th position already. He is the road racing expert, got his experience in Trans Am, and he is a definite favorite here today. There's Sterling Marlin.
He's on the inside of Mike Skinner. And Robbie Gordon, the fastest car of the 40 car. Coors Light car was the fastest car in practice yesterday afternoon. This is the Briggs & Stratton onboard camera along with Robbie Gordon. We're riding down at turn 4. On the brakes hard. Right-hander now, hit the gas. This is turn 5, a long sweeping right-hander. Up the hill, and all we see sky as we go into the carousel. Now we drop off and go down into turn 6.
This is a long turn as well. Then it gets pretty sharp as they head into turn 7. Here's Dallenbach making another pass on Terry Labonte.
He is up to 4th position. Wally Dallenbach in the green 46. He told us last week that First Union has come up with some extra money, and they are going to see that he has an opportunity to make every other race this coming year. He was only going to run a partial season, and boy, is he turning on the afterburners here.
Had an engine problem in practice yesterday afternoon, but they changed the engine, and he said they changed some other things on the car as well, and looking good.
He said he would either go forwards or backwards. Jeff Gordon trying to get on the inside of Rusty. It's all brakes. No, not quite, but here comes Dallenbach on the outside. But is he going to lose a spot to Terry Labonte? No, Jeff Gordon still working on Rusty Wallace.
Jeff cut the corner pretty close there in number 11, but never did get the spot, and as a matter of fact was able to hold off Wally Dallenbach, who went to the outside.
This is turn 2, up the hill. Now they're going to turn left. That's 3. They go back to the right, 3A. Sterling Marlin, he and Robbie Gordon still racing, bumper to bumper. That's John Nemechek. John and Freddie.
Sterling Marlin had a good first lap. He's now up to 17th position. Wow, Robbie Gordon, though, right on the rear spoiler of that car as they come down the hill once again.
There's some, looks like is there some damage on Earnhardt's car? Yeah, on that right front, definitely.
There's some smoke. There's smoke out of the car.
A little bit of dust kicked up there as they came off of corner number 6. Got a little wide, and now Earnhardt is going to go to the inside of Bobby Labonte and pick up the spot.
That put him up to 28. He started 32nd.
Up front, still about a car length advantage or less. Mark Martin over Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, and Wally Dallenbach.
Now, is Gordon going to try it this time? No, he will settle in and run in 3rd place.
Here's a Napa field summary.
And folks, believe it or not, they accelerate 3rd gear. And right here, Rusty's going in 4th gear. About just before they back off right here is the fastest spot on the racetrack.
Gears back down again.
Boy, are they busy.
They work for everything they get.
Up on the rumble strips, getting 2 wheels off the ground. This is turn number 5.
This is turn 5 here. Sweeping right-hander.
There's Ricky Rudd, who is a 5-time winner on road courses. He's right behind Dale Jarrett.
Go through this corner about 75 miles per hour. Turn 70 hairpin. Off we go. Rusty took a look. He's there. He's
got
there.
it. Rusty Wallace goes into the lead. And that pass was accomplished on a section of racetrack that you don't normally associate with passing.
Normally you don't. Through the S's, they say that is among the worst places to try to pass, but apparently he saw a weakness on Mark Martin somewhere in that area and decided he'd make the run at it.
Looked like a moment ago when Jeff Gordon got alongside Rusty Wallace. Rusty said, look, I think I got to step it up because right now Jeff Gordon's running faster than I am. And he has stepped it up. Taking the lead. Now let's see if Jeff Gordon can come up and make a move on Mark Martin. That's him, Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevy.
It's a 74-lap race, and at the moment, Rusty Wallace has the lead over Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon. Dallenbach 4th, Labonte 5th.
Missed the corner.
Whoa! The leader, Rusty Wallace, overcooked it going into turn 7, relinquishes the lead, falls back to 5th.
Man, oh man, the right front brake just locked up going in the corner.
He got in there too hard, apparently, and just had to hit the brakes hard, and right out into the grass he went.
Jerry Punch.
Well, a minute ago when he took the lead, Robin Pemberton looked at me and said, you know, we had a meeting this morning and talked about him being patient. So that's our Mr. Patience. He went at a whole 3 laps until he decided to charge for the lead. But right there, that charge could have cost him.
Well, he'll have to work his way back up.
Rather uncharacteristic of Rusty Wallace, but here's how it happened. Coming down off 6 at full throttle here to 7, and then
he just stands on the brakes and he gets in the corner too hard. He has to lock him up to keep the car from going on up in the dirt.
Yeah, he was going to spin it out if he turned that car right going in there. He was in there too hard. He realized it. So the best thing he could do is keep it straight, not spin it, get on out there in the dirt, lose those positions, and come back.
Now from his bumper cam. He had to go over some rather rough terrain there.
My concern now is what has that done to his right front tire? We know that it's flat spotted that right front tire. Is there going to be a vibration there?
Fortunately, he has radial tires. If that had been bias-ply tires, he'd probably have a flat tire from cutting it. The radial tires don't cut nearly as easy on those gravels and things, so apparently everything's okay because he still runs pretty strong. Here's the car number 78 off course.
Tom Hubert. That's a young man who, the tire changer for the 30 car. He also is the shop foreman for Kurt Rourke's truck team, the NASCAR Craftsman truck team. But the 78 car, Billy Standard said, look, I need some help getting in this race. And Hubert was the second fastest qualifier, and they said, look, you go ahead and race him. You got us in the field. You got us in the field, you race him.
Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett have been swapping positions back there.
Right now, Dale Jarrett has the 9th position, and Kyle is in 10th. Let's take a look at what happened up in turn number 3 just a second ago. Let's look.
Oh, Sterling Marlin just smokes that right front tire. He and Ernie Irvin make some contact. We see the damage on the 4 car already, and boom, there goes the 40 car back by. And Darrell Walter. Sterling lost 3 spots.
Here's Bill Weber.
And Sterling Marlin has just pulled onto pit road. He also had contact with Robbie Gordon. So Sterling on pit road here early. Right side damage. He'll head for his pit down near the start-finish line. So Sterling Marlin, the first one on pit road here at Sears Point, guys.
There's pretty significant damage there just in front of the right rear.
Jerry Punch.
As they jack the Kodak film Chevy up, the problem on Sterling's car is he has only 4th gear. That's why he was unable to get through the turns very quickly. He couldn't downshift and had to use the brakes to try to slow the car down. That's one of the reasons he had a problem with keeping the car stable on the racetrack. Now they jack the left side of the car up and have a crew member under the car trying to get the car out of 4th gear and see if they can possibly get 2nd and 3rd back, which he will definitely need today if he's to have any shot at all of being competitive.
Man, oh man, that's a tough break this early on.
Now he's still on the lead lap. Here come the leaders through the S's, through turns 8A, coming into turn 9. So Sterling goes out of the pits. It looks like he might be able to stay on the lead lap.
If he has 1st and 2nd gear.
Yeah.
Sterling Marlin has left the pit area and goes back onto the racetrack. There's the Kodak film Chevy back at full speed up the hill.
Sure looks like he does. Looks like his car's up to speed. Meanwhile, the leaders are down in, there see coming off turn 11, going into turn 12. And Rusty Wallace is going by Wally Dallenbach, trying to work his way, trying to get by Dallenbach, trying to get his way back to the front.
Well, Terry Labonte has gotten around Dallenbach, so Labonte moves up to 3rd spot.
And Jeff Bodine closes up on that group of cars.
We understand that the gearbox is fixed on the Kodak film Chevrolet of Sterling Marlin. So he should be able to stay out there and stay in the lead lap.
Now Rusty Wallace trying to get around the 46 of Wally Dallenbach. They're headed toward turn number 4. Jeff Bodine closes in on Rusty Wallace. Bodine is certainly no slouch on road courses. He's won 3 times and in fact won the most recent road course race at Watkins Glen last year.
There we see Kenny Schrader, the Skoll car, the 99, Jeff Burton, John Andretti. Here comes DW, Wally and Robbie Gordon now back to the lead. This is Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon. They're putting some distance on Terry Labonte. And here comes Rusty. And he's trying to get by Dallenbach. Looks like he might do it. Jeff Bodine, is he going to try to do the same thing?
Yeah, but he couldn't get the traction off that turn from the low side of the racetrack.
So Rusty is back up to 4th now after losing the lead when he overcooked it going into turn number 7. We're looking back from Rusty's vantage point to Dallenbach and Jeff Bodine.
Going in turn 11 would be a great spot for Jeff Bodine to try to outbrake Dallenbach.
And that's exactly what he is going to do. Pulled it off rather easily, as a matter of fact. So Jeff Bodine moves up to 5th spot.
We're getting to the point of the race now that they've completed 9 laps, and the chassis of the car, we heard several drivers talk about long runs of the cars, and now we're getting into that point. Those tires are getting heated up, the brakes are getting heated up, and we're beginning to see now who has the best chassis on the race cars.
We saw Bill Elliott pick up a position there on Ted Musgrave. There's Bill, who, as we said, did not race here last year. He had just suffered the broken leg in the crash at Talladega. But he is back, and in fact himself won his first NASCAR Winston Cup race on a road course in Riverside back in 1983.
That puts Bill up to 12th, right behind Ricky Rudd, who is 11th. Musgrave 13th.
Here once again is Mark Martin with a rather sizable advantage now on Jeff Gordon, and there's a bit of racetrack between Gordon and the third.
Jeff Bodine is off the pace.
Yes,
Jeff Bodine is off the pace. Tough break.
His brother Brett going through the corner along with Michael Waltrip and Petty and Jarrett and Rudd, but there is obviously something wrong with the QBC Ford.
I see a little whisper of smoke.
Yes, I did, Ned. I did as well. Now, this is a tough spot because he's not up to speed and he's got cars behind him through the S's.
And this is definitely not a good place to pass now. Like he's not back up to speed either.
Could he be coming in here?
Can we see some heavy smoke now coming out of the car?
Yep. It looked okay coming through the carousel. Jerry, what's wrong?
He's coming to pit road, but his word on the radio was, guys, I think I just broke the engine. We're going to try to get back to pit road, but it may be over.
Well, he is entering pit road, and so he safely made it to that point, but does not look good.
Tough break. They've gotten up to 5th spot, and there we see the picture of Don Gillis. He talked about her, the young lady who won the contest with QVC. Her picture on the hood.
He had a good race car. Won the race last year at Watkins Glen.
So maybe an early out here for Jeff Bodine as he pulls in. Meanwhile, on the racetrack, it's still Mark Martin leading Jeff Gordon. We'll be right back. Back at Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma, California, the Mart Supermarkets 300 underway with Mark Martin leading Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, and Rusty Wallace. Here is Wally Dallenbach running in 5th position. Looks like Dale Jarrett in front of Kyle Petty now.
There's the Burton brothers. Ward Burton, the 22. Jeff in the 99. Jeff started 20th, and he's up for 14th spot.
Yeah, made a good move. Here comes Ernie Irvin into the picture. Ernie's made a good move also. He started 24th. Now he's up to 17th.
And he's battling with John Andretti, the RCA car. That's Ernie, the 28th, the Black Haviland, Texaco.
And there's Darrell Waltrip right on his bumper. Darrell started 26th.
You see, Ernie's got some damage to the nose of that car. He's ran the back of someone. Might have been Sterling Maughan when he had that mix-up up there in turn 3 or 4.
Here's how Ernie Irvin has come from the 24th starting position. He gained 1 position on the first lap, stayed there until lap 4, then moved up 3 more. And by the 11th lap, he picked up 3 more. He's now 17th. Bill Weber.
And Bobby's doing that because they did a motor and gear combination change this morning. You heard Jerry Punch at the beginning of the race talk about Ernie's success here and the philosophy of the team. But the principle behind making those changes this morning was so Ernie would be quicker off turn 11. And right now, that's where he's catching the field and picking up some of his positions. So Ernie started 24th, moving up to 17th. And their combination that they put in, Mark Reno and company on that Texaco Haviland Ford, working here in the early laps at Sears Point.
2-time winner here at this racetrack in 92 and 94.
And Darrell Waltrip looked a little racy there, trying to get on the outside of Ernie going in turn 7.
And Darrell has picked up 8 positions. He is doing well. He was the fastest second-round qualifier and about 6th fastest overall.
And when Old Riverside Raceway was in action, he was very good there, winning in 79, 2 in 89, 1 in 81, and 1 in 86. He's a 5-time winner on road courses. Talking about Darrell Waltrip, he may be trying to get the spot from Ernie, but can't do it.
Had visions of outbreaking the 28 car going in the corner. Couldn't make it happen. See Mike Skinner back behind Robbie Gordon. Pretty good run for Skinner. First time here in a full-bodied stock car.
Robbie Gordon was the fastest during happy hour yesterday. And as you can see from the Napa Field summary, 43 cars still out there on the racetrack. Jeff Bodine is off the track, not officially declared out of the race yet, but he is off of the racetrack. Or when you hit those bumps, the car upsets pretty well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's just amazing how busy these drivers are as you go around this racetrack.
Well, let's get the Jeff Bodine story from Dr. Punch.
Well, Jeff is back in the garage area. He's climbed out of his Ford Thunderbird. Jeff, you thought car number 7 qualifying 7th would be an omen, but it wasn't.
I don't believe in that stuff, and I guess today proved that. No, I'm not superstitious. You make your own luck, and it looks like for everyone watching, the crew and Lee Morris, Bob Glidden, I know you guys are watching. It looks like something in front of the engine broke, the cam, or it's locked right up. So we'll give you a call in a little while. We'll try to figure this thing out, but the car's running really good. Just riding back there, and Rusty got off course a little bit up there, and they got by him, and I was just following him. Got by Wally. Wally was really strong those first few laps, pretty aggressive, and he looked good, but he faded a little bit. My car was getting better, actually, and that's what we saw in practice the other day on the older tires. It was a better car than most out there, and I think we would have seen that if we'd stayed out there a little longer, but something broke, and we're really disappointed. GVC had a promotion here with Dawn Gillis. She's on her hood. She was our official sponsor for this weekend, but she's going to get the hood, and it's all in one piece. I didn't dent it up for her. But we got a lot to look forward to this next weekend, a big race at Talladega, and we're going to have a great car there. Looking forward to it, a better car than even what we had last week. So we'll go to Talladega and then see what we can do next week. And anyone out there wants to get their name on a race car, call us. We're looking for an associate sponsor. We really do need the help, so give us a call.
All right, Jeff Bodine out of it as the 33 car is his troubles, guys.
Yeah, he's got a flat tire. He and Ernie Irvin got together going into turn 11. Irvin spun around while you were talking to Jeff Bodine, and look at that right front tire on Ken Schrader's Chevrolet.
He's got to go 2.5 miles on the rim, and it's going to tear everything up by the time he gets back to the garage area.
That thing is going to start flapping. It's going to tear the wheel well. Look at this.
We see John Andretti had just been able to get by the 33 car, and that time Ernie gets in the corner. He tries to outbrake, and he gets the car a little bit sideways to correct the car, to save it. He had to turn it back, and he turned right into the 33 car. And positions are just going by as Ernie sits there. He must have
lost about 11 or 12 positions.
Yeah, about a dozen, I think. And look at this. Schrader still trying to get to the pits.
There's Ernie being shown in 29th position there now, and we've talked about him being up to 17th there a moment ago. But he has come from the back of the pack before to win this race.
He has not had a great deal of success in the last 3 races. You saw there how he has fallen in the point standings, but don't count Ernie out yet. Here he comes off of corner number 10. If he's going to the pits, he will... Meanwhile, Ken Schrader continues to limp around. He's just now getting through the S's, so he's still got a ways to go before he gets to his pit area. We'll take a break and be right back. From the bumper cam, you look back from leader Mark Martin's car to second place Jeff Gordon. Ken Schrader has made it into the pits. They have made the repairs, and Dr. Punch was there when it happened.
Well, they came in and took what's left of this right front tire off the car, and what Kenny said was that the contact with the 28 car basically sheared off the valve stem and cut the tire down, and that they're carrying it behind the wall. They were going to just change 2 right side tires and try to get back and stay on the lead lap, but NASCAR was going to hold him 15 seconds on pit road, and when they held him, he said, we might as well change left side tires while we're sitting here because we're going to go a lap down anyway.
He did indeed go a lap down, Jerry, back in 43rd position.
There's him. He doesn't realize just how flat the tire is. This is going into turn 3. He tries to turn in, and the car bent that since the right front tire is flat, it just simply will not turn. And he finally just had to slow down and ride around the racetrack about 20 miles per hour.
Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Spencer, along with Bobby Hamilton, racing here into turn number 7. Meanwhile, here is the top trio. It is Martin, Then Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace.
And we see that Wally Dallenbach has slid backwards. There goes Dale, Brett Bodine, Ricky Rudd, Michael Waltrip, Kyle Petty, Bill Elliott.
Here's Jeff Burton trying to outbrake Ward, his brother, into turn number 11.
Give me room, brother, please. And he did. Gave him room, but Jeff broke loose and Ward kept the position.
Yep. Jerry, Wally Dallenbach is back now to 12th position. What's going on there?
Yeah, remarkable, Bob, considering the fact that he did not get passed on the racetrack the entire race a year ago, starting back in 15th and finishing 3rd. Only lost spots in the pits on pit stops. The word is that the problem is the brakes. They may have broken a brake line on the car number 46, the First Union Chevrolet. The brakes have gotten worse and worse and worse. And now Tony Glover and the crew are going to discuss it. Apparently, it just got more and more worse for Wally Dallenbach. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
And Hut Strickland on pit road. They changed left side tires, dropped the jack, and set Hut out. The tires looked fine when he went by me, but he might have thought he had a left side going down. So Hut stops, gets 2 tires, fuel, heads back out, does not lose a lap.
This might be strategy.
Could be.
Hut Strickland might be pitting right now and hoping the caution flag comes out. He can stay out there and maybe gain some spots.
And we will see that on road course racing sometimes. They'd rather stop under the green than have the caution come out right after they stop. So it wouldn't surprise me to see others come in here before too long, because they're in the window now. They can make a stop anytime along now, and then one more stop will get them to the end.
Look at the black marks back where Mark Martin almost lost control.
Wow, he came out of corner number 11 and had it sideways, but he maintains the advantage over Jeff Gordon. Boy, that was a scary moment for Mark.
Even leaving the race around this racetrack is difficult.
I'm telling you.
As Rusty Wallace has found out, and now Mark Martin's finding out. You see how these cars go through the corner, and the cars just don't get a lot of body roll? That's because they've started using rear sway bars. You know, bars that keeps the body flat. The wheels go up and down, but the body stays flat, and that's one reason they're going so fast now around these tracks is with the rear sway bar. They've always had a front. Just in the past few years, they've started running the rears.
We're talking about Wally Dallenbach. He's dropped all the way back to 22nd now.
Wow. And as you can see, only one car, that is Ken Schrader, that is not on the lead lap, and Jeff Bodine is now listed as out of the race because of the engine failure. On board with Rusty Wallace. Whoa, look at him. He's sawing the wheel there, and so did Mark Martin just a lap ago when he went through corner number 10. Look at this.
Watch this. Now, I want you, when he gets through, watch the black marks. Look at the black marks that he leaves right there as he gets that car under control. Wow.
But he really didn't lose much time to Jeff Gordon.
I expect, of course, Jeff was already off the gas heading into turn 11, but he probably hit the brakes a little harder than he meant to, so he's going to wreck.
In fact, it looks like that Terry Labonte, his teammate, is closing in on Jeff Gordon, and Rusty is staying right there with him. Basically a 4-car race at the moment. Here comes the 5th place car of Dale Jarrett, then Brett Bodine, Ricky Rudd, Michael Waltrip. Here comes Bill Elliott and others, including Kyle Petty and Ted Musgrave.
And there's DW still following John Andretti.
And he's still moving up too, Darrell. I mean, Benny, he's up to 15th now.
He was very optimistic yesterday afternoon in happy hour. Said he felt like it's one of the best cars he'd had in a long, long time here on any road course.
Right now he's trying to work around John Andretti. Ward Burton to the inside of Kyle Petty as they cross the start-finish line and head up the hill. Here's a pretty good race.
Or outside, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, right.
Inside on one turn and outside on the other. But Kyle beats him into that shorter corner there.
And here comes Dallenbach finally coming in for a stop, Jerry.
Well, they had to go ahead and stop now. The brakes have gotten worse and worse, so he's really being very careful coming down pit road. The pit road speed starts at the first pit box and goes to the last pit box. They will change the tires on the right side of the car. We are just hearing, by the way, that Sterling Marlin has the car stuck in 4th gear only again, so he'll be coming in very shortly. His car slower on the racetrack as work continues on the First Union Chevrolet. Right side tires, now left side tires. And as of yet, they have not raised the hood. They're trying to look at the brake calipers. They take the tires off, see if there's a broken caliper, and looking now at the left rear to see if possibly there could be a problem back there in the left rear. Now one crew member inside the car working in the back of the race car. As the leaders now come down through the S's, headed for turn 10, Dallenbach still sits on pit road and now moves away and will try to stay in the lead lap as the leaders now head for turn 11.
Well, he was in for 38.5 seconds, and it looks like he's having a little bit of difficulty getting that car up to speed.
Brakes, awfully hard to keep brakes on this car. You got to have a lot of air going through them, and because there we see the leader, Mark Martin, coming right behind Dallenbach.
That's how close he is to being lapped. And Kyle Petty, we understand, also had a problem on the racetrack.
Coming into turn 7, similar to what Rusty Wallace, he goes in a little bit high, locks that brake, and here he goes, gets all 4 wheels out on the dirt. Plows a little bit there.
That fiberglass don't like that plowing.
So Kyle lost several positions.
Here now, Rusty's got around Terry.
Rusty has been...
Whoa, and Gordon is off course.
That's Robbie Gordon.
That's turn 2, I believe. Yes, it was. This is around 3 as Mike Skinner goes by. Oh, Skinner goes straight.
Wow,
Right
he's
through
off
the
course.
dirt. Where are you going, Mike?
Where'd he wind up?
Well, he's
out
back
there.
on track.
Back on track
Yeah.
now.
And Robbie Gordon is off the pace.
Well, I think it looks like the front end's knocked out of alignment on the car, Benny. I thought when he went off there.
There is some damage to the right front, yes.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's take a look at some replays here.
Oh, he's smoking. I mean, it looks like the engine's gone or something.
That's what caused him to go off
that's
course.
what caused him to go off course.
Yeah.
Wow.
He just keeps going out through the grass.
Yeah, you lose an oil line or something, but the car is still running, going back to the pit area. So, man, there we see where the damage, where he got that damage.
Well, Robbie cut his teeth, of course, in the desert, but that isn't my idea of desert off-road racing. And here is how Skinner got off course.
And he comes right back out beside of Bobby Labonte. Bobby goes on by. There we go. Bill Weber, you got the story on Robbie Gordon?
Yeah, he may have cut his teeth in the desert, but here in wine country, he's cut a brake line, and he's also lost his power steering. So I imagine his hands are pretty full right about now. Also looking for Dale Earnhardt to pit, and he just pulled on the pit road now. So the race really begins here for Dale Earnhardt. They had planned to pit pretty early, and this is what they're going to do. Earnhardt's coming in. He's going to get 4 sticker tires. They're going to add 1 pound into the front and 1.5 pounds into the rear. Robbie Gordon now passes Earnhardt here on pit road, and Robbie will seek some assistance from his crew. The Goodwrench Chevy here on pit road. They've got the right side tires on. Jack is down. Around to the left side. Chocolate Meyer shoves in the second can of fuel. Earnhardt's car looks pretty good on this side. Can't see the right front damage. The 40 also on pit road. Hood goes up on Robbie Gordon. Earnhardt stalls the car. Earnhardt refires, gets a push. He's away. 22 seconds.
And it appears as if the drivers are thinking that there may be a caution here because of oil on the track. Several drivers are complaining about that, and he hopes that the caution comes out soon.
Well, you can bet that Dale Earnhardt's complaining about it because he'd like to see that caution.
Down to Jerry.
We're hearing from the Robbie Gordon pits it may be a power steering problem, maybe power steering fluid we saw come out of that car as he comes down pit road and now makes the hard left-hand turn right by us, and we'll head back to the garage area. His teammate, by the way, Wally Dallenbach, the brake pedal is stuck in the floorboard. He has little or no brakes. He's going to slow the car down totally with the transmission as long as it lasts.
Wow. Tough assignment for Wally Dallenbach. We are early in the race, and Mark Martin continues to lead here at the Mart Supermarkets 300.
Back at Sears Point Raceway, leaders pit stops beginning here on this road course. Jeff Gordon in, right side tires already on, a chassis adjustment in the right rear. It's full of fuel, left side lug nuts on. He will be down and away. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
4 sticker tires for Jeff Burton, 1 round of wedge in the right rear, fuel going in. These guys that get sticker tires have to be very, very careful, very slick when they leave pit road. It takes these tires a little while, about almost 3/4 of a lap, to come up to temperature. Leaders are in the hairpin.
Coming off turn 7 is Mark Martin.
And we see Mark is starting to catch some traffic. He's lapping cars in a lap or two. Now might be a good time for Mark Martin to make his pit stop before he starts lapping cars, because once he starts lapping cars, they will slow him down considerably. And right now he has good, clean racetrack.
Well, yesterday, rain out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as a practice for the Indy 500 was supposed to begin. They are underway with practice today, and they will have daily reports beginning at 5 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow on ESPN2. Indy daily reports beginning tomorrow. The leader, Mark Martin, is in the pit area.
A great time to pit. He was catching lap cars. Now he can go back on the racetrack, hopefully with some green racetrack, clean racetrack in front of him.
Slowly down pit road. 35 miles an hour. It's a long way down to his pit stall. Jerry Punch is waiting on him. Now he arrives.
Well, it should be a routine pit stop for Mark Martin. They wanted to actually wait about 3 or 4 laps, but because of the early pit stop of Gordon, they had no choice. Martin is in. Terry Labonte is in right behind him. Right side tires on the Kellogg's car. Now left side tires on the Valvoline Ford. No chassis adjustment. Slight air pressure adjustment. Mark is down and away. Darrell Waltrip is in front of Bill Weber.
And what a run it's been for Darrell. He's got right side tires on, but not the left side. The fuel is in. He's getting his windshield clean. He's also getting sticker tires. Some guys are taking scuff. Waltrip's on his way back out. The 43 is also on pit road, changing right side tires. Should be 4 for Bobby Hamilton as well.
Bobby Hamilton's crew goes to work on the left side, changing tires over there. Fuel being put in for Bobby. The leader of the race is Dale Jarrett. It's important to him, of course, because he needs the 5 bonus points. Every little bit helps. Now the crew has completed the work on Bobby Hamilton, and he rolls away.
And I think that's the only reason that Dale Jarrett stayed out there when the other leaders came in, was to get that 5 bonus points.
There is our leader now, working his way.
The only thing would hurt Dale Jarrett right now, if the caution flag were to come out right now and they close pit road, he would be in trouble, because I expect him to make a pit stop the next time by. He can't ride out there and let the caution flag come out.
We're going to know in a moment. Yes, indeed. Dale Jarrett heads for the pit area, and so he relinquishes the lead.
Now, if the caution comes out right now, he's okay, because they already made the entrance into the pits.
And so Dale will look for his assigned pit stall. 35 miles an hour is the speed limit coming down here. Jerry Punch, he'll soon be near you.
Well, lap 25, exactly what Jeff Bodine did at Watkins Glen. Split the race in 3 parts. As Jarrett pits lap 25, probably will come back in on lap 50. As right side tires are going on, they make a chassis adjustment in the left rear. 1 round in the left rear, and now tires going on the left side. As lug nuts going on, the car full of fuel. Jarrett is down and away.
Good
Great
pit stop.
Yep. Great pit stop.
18.5 seconds, and Dale Jarrett rolls back out. And now on the racetrack, we have a battle between Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace.
And I think this is for the lead.
And Rusty had a great pit stop. He moved from, 4th up to, he was running 3rd and moved right on the back bumper of Mark Martin on his pit stop.
Well, Rusty Wallace was in the lead at one point, but lost it when he came into turn 7 too quickly. Here he is moving through turn number 6. We're going to follow him down to turn 7 and see how things go this lap. Mark Martin is the leader of the race, though, at the moment.
This is where he locked up the brakes before. And watch, he closes up right on the back bumper of Mark Martin and trying to go on the outside. Close quarters.
So good battle ensues here. You can see that Terry Labonte is running back in 3rd spot. Jeff Gordon is 4th, and Dale Jarrett is 5th. 25 of 74 laps complete. They remain in the same order, just about the same interval. Mark Martin leading Rusty Wallace, who is ahead of Terry Labonte. They go up the hill and head for turn 2.
Looks like Kenny Strader, the Skull car, up in front of them.
He's gotten back in the lead lap, Benny, as a result of the pit stops by the leaders, but he's about to go, about to go a lap down again.
Bill Weber is with Robbie Gordon.
And the frustration continues for Robbie Gordon. High hopes here on the road course, but you're behind the wall. What happened?
I don't know. I mean, we were really, really fast yesterday. You know, with fast first practice, fast afternoon practice. I was afraid the car was going to start pushing as the tires went out, so I stuck rubbers in there. We weren't as good as we wanted to be in the first session, but as soon as we were coming in for a pit, we were going to fix that. Lost a power steering going right in the corner, oil down the rear tires. All I could do was just save it as I went off the course straight. I I'm a little frustrated, but, I got to thank all the guys on the Coors Light team. They were doing a really good job this weekend. We really made a lot of progress because we were faster on full tanks than we even qualified. So I thought our hopes of a podium finish here would have been real good.
Okay, Robbie Gordon, very frustrated, heads off to Indy. After here, Joe Nemechek will drive for him next week.
Right now, Ken Schrader is on the lead lap, but he's close to going a lap down.
He is in 38th position, so 38 cars still on the lead lap.
Wow. But this is basically exactly why Mark Martin made that pit stop. Oh, and Schrader goes over to block that move by Mark Martin, because let's face it, he wants to stay in the lead lap. And now can Mark accelerate off the corner and get by him? No.
Well, while these two race and try to get by Ken Schrader, Terry Labonte in third position is closing in. And Mark has to go to the inside, get 2 wheels off the track, and he still can't get around Schrader. Now he does.
And Schrader backs off, Rusty goes by.
Note the intervals now. It's 5.7 seconds between first and fourth, and then Dale Jarrett is almost 13 seconds back in 5th spot.
See Ricky Rudd, 21 seconds behind the leader. Uncle Walter, Jeff Burton, Bill Elliott, Brett Bodine, and Pink.
Down through the carousel, and since they have gotten around Ken Schrader, no traffic to contend with.
No traffic, so that's exactly why they made that pit stop. Rather than contend with the traffic and slow down, slow their lap time down, go in and pit. All the other cars are pitting anyway.
Here comes 5th place Jarrett.
Like the Gunzelman car there. Ricky Rudd.
Walter Burton, Elliott, Brett Bodine.
Darrell Walter racing with Ted Musgrave. That's 4th position. The 19 car, Gary Bradbury, is a lap down.
And that's for 11th position, too. He is really making a charge towards the front.
He sure has. He started 26th, 18th on the 13th lap, and steadily up to 12th here on the 27th circuit. There is John Andretti, and here comes Bobby Labonte, and he too is making good progress. Started 29th, was 26th on lap 13, stayed there till lap 19, and now on lap 27, up to 14th spot. Good run for Bobby. Meanwhile, it continues to be about a car length and a half between Martin and Rusty Wallace.
Going out into turn 4. And the long sweeping right-hander.
It's a Napa field summary showing you where everybody is running at the moment. The numbers in parentheses indicate where they started.
These cars are running about 75 miles per hour as they go through turn 6, the carousel. 3rd gear, they'll accelerate, shift into 4th. Somewhere in the 130, 35 mile per hour range as they slow down to 40 miles per hour.
Wow.
Oh, Rusty.
Oh, he's got good
Can he get the
inside
grip?
position.
Nope. Boy, it's so slick down on the inside of them. When you mash that gas and you're in 2nd gear with a low gear rear end ratio anyway, and it really puts that power there, and it just simply won't get a bite.
There's no doubt that Rusty Wallace has a very fast race car, and he is just looking for the opportunity to get by Mark, but he may have lost a car length or so on that little incident.
They get that corner about 100 miles per hour. Now, back to 112, 13 miles per hour, downshifting down to 40 miles per hour once again.
And the interval closes again. Here's a battle between Ernie Irvan and Ward Burton. That is for 15th position. Ernie Irvan now up to 15th.
Well, after that spin down in turn 11, he and Ken Schrader got together, and he dropped back to that 27th position or something. He's moved back up. He was moving up at that time.
Gary Coates got a good run going in the Skittles Pontiac behind this group. The 17th spot, there he comes. Spencer, Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty is falling back here. And here comes Earnhardt. He's up in 20th spot now, and
Steve Grissom on the inside of Lance Hooper. Oh, 3 abreast. Jeremy Mayfield to the inside. Whoa.
And Hooper is the man that comes out ahead.
They came out just the way they went in the corner. Lance Hooper, the Hardy's car, was the Winston West champion in 1996. He's driving for Greg Sachs, who I think we told you last week broke his foot in a testing accident in Greenville Pickens Speedway. So road course is not really a good place to run with a broken foot.
But he will be back next week at Talladega on Saturday.
See Hud Strickland as he goes by.
Hud is back in 29th position. He's almost 59 seconds behind the leader.
It's Morgan Shepherd.
Tom Huber. There's Butch Gilliland, the 38 car. He was the, I think I said, the last winner on the Winston West Series.
Once again into corner number 11, it's Mark Martin leading Rusty Wallace and Terry Labonte not too far behind. There are the top 5. 30 laps are now completed out of 74 in the Save Mart Supermarkets 300. Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Gary Sheffield and the Florida Marlins along with Moises Alou take on the Houston Astros and Jeff Bagwell. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. The Marlins in second place in the East, the Astros leading the Central Division. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball at 8 o'clock tonight. And don't forget the NASCAR website at www.nascar.com with all the information you seek about any kind of NASCAR racing. Get on board with the Super Highway and find out all about what happened at the truck race yesterday in Portland, and at the conclusion of this race, all the statistics that you need to know. NASCAR Online. Well, it remains just about the same, doesn't it? About the same interval between first and second.
Yep, Mark Martin leading, Rusty Wallace staying pretty close on him. Hasn't made a major charge here recently. Terry Labonte staying right in there. He might be creeping up just a little bit.
The last time by, Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin were the 2 fastest cars. As Hud Strickland is back in the pits.
Well, he made an early pit stop once before, Bill.
Exactly right, Ned. He is just out of sequence, so Hud is in for fuel, and this time 4 tires. Right sides are on. Now they'll come around, put on the left side tires. Hud Strickland also using sticker tires on this pit stop. Being warned by the NASCAR official, they're missing a lug nut on the right front, so they'll have to run back around with the gun and put on the extra lug nut. And now Hud will be able to return to the race.
And he isn't going to be able to go the rest of the distance, I don't think, on this set of tires.
I tell you one thing, he looks like he's got a tire out of balance, or that rear bumper is loose. Some of our spotters tell us that the rear bumper has been bouncing like that. It is loose. Evidently someone's made some contact with the back of the Circuit City car.
Hud has gone a lap down, so he and Ken Schrader, who's coming up there right behind him, will be racing for position. And that position will be for 36th.
And Dale Jarrett, meanwhile, weaves his way through these lap cars. Dale is in 5th spot at the moment, as you can see on your scoring pylon there in the upper left.
He made an adjustment on his car during the pit stop, but he's not running as fast to laps now as he was before.
There's another Radio Shack Field summary for you. Dale Jarrett, his best finish here at Sears Point was 12th, and he's done that on 2 different occasions, most recently in this race last year. But he's got a good run going here this afternoon.
Then you talked about the 5 car being a little bit faster than the rest of them. The last time by, he was the fastest car of the first 6 cars. He ran 90.364, and the leader ran 90.030.
Ernie Irvin goes by. There is Ward Burton. Here comes Derek Cope out of the corner. Jimmy Spencer. And there is Dale Earnhardt, who is back in 19th position. So he's moved up from his starting spot of 32nd, but he is just not a contender as he usually is on a road course.
I'm told that Robbie Gordon's been able to repair his car, and he's going back out on the racetrack trying to get all the points that he can. There he is with Briggs and Stratton on board. Thank you for bringing that camera back out, Robbie.
So the only car that's shown off the track but not officially out of the race right now is Ricky Craven, who has a transmission problem Jeff Bodine is indeed out of competition. There you see Ricky with his onboard camera as he waits for repairs to be made to the Budweiser Chevrolet. Back on board with Mark Martin, looking back on Rusty Wallace.
Coming down through turn 6, the carousel. They'll accelerate up to turn 7. There he is. Boy, these two cars are awfully close today.
Not a great deal of difference. Their last lap speed was almost identical. They had to get down into the thousands to see any difference at all.
Yeah, 90.001 for Mark Martin and 90.008 for Rusty Wallace. So they're virtually going the same speed. Now here is Hooper in car number 20, Steve Grissom and Mike Skinner. Hooper again from the Winston West Series, substituting for Greg Sachs.
That's 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
The only car that's running in the 90-mile-an-hour bracket right now, the only other car other than those three up front, is Jeff Burton. He is running in 6th position, but his last lap was a little bit faster than the leaders.
We have had no cautions to this point, thus we are at record speed here. The track record is 81.413, and right now they're going more than 87, almost 88 miles an hour, and Bobby Hillin is in trouble.
And I see parts flying out of the car. Parts were flying out of the car.
Drop down on the right side, Terry. I think it's a sway bar.
Well, is there debris on the racetrack?
So you thought it was a sway bar. It looked like maybe a sway bar arm or something.
Bad. I can't do that.
Like
Bring it in here and park it back here. We'll sit here until we get it fixed in.
They're going to fix it before they go back on the racetrack. Going in the garage area.
So just as I say, we haven't had a caution. Maybe there will be if indeed there are parts and debris on the racetrack, but nothing so far. And Darrell Waltrip tries to go into 9th spot, trying to get around Brett Bodine, and Waltrip is just having a heck of a day.
He is having a great day. He just picks them off one at a time, driving a very smart, calculated race.
Down through turn 6, he's looking inside of Brett Bodine. Let's see how he handles this long straightaway down to 7. He may have the spot, and by golly, he does.
Yeah, he just goes in there high, and Brett backs off, gives him the room. Brett knows that he's a little bit faster right now.
And Ricky Rudd has a problem. Wow. One of the guys that you think is a favorite when you go to a road course. His car is in pit road, and it looks like they're taking it behind the wall.
Well, that's too bad, because he is a great road racer.
Jerry, what's going on?
Well, it's the old nemesis here on the road course. Apparently the transmission has come apart inside the Tide Ford, so they're going to try to push the car. Ricky was trying to get the car on the pit road, couldn't make the turn, ended up coasting down here. The crew has now pushed the car behind the wall behind us. They're going to try to get this car to the garage area, get the transmission fixed, and get him back on the racetrack to pick up some valuable Winston Cup points. But a tough day for a 5-time road course winner.
And Rudd comes into this race in 7th position in the point standings, only 1 ahead of Dale Earnhardt. We'll be right back. ESPN Speed World today at Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma, California for the Mart Supermarkets 300, being brought to you by the legendary Firebird Trans Am from Pontiac. By True Value, official hardware store of NASCAR and garages everywhere. By the Exide NASCAR Select, so reliable it's the official battery of NASCAR. And by Firestone, America's tire since 1900. And we welcome those of you who are joining us from ESPN News. We are at Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma, California, and the lead of this race is held by Mark Martin. In car number 6, there you see behind him Rusty Wallace and then Terry Labonte. Those are the first 3. And Robbie Gordon in car number 40 was in the pits for several laps. He's about 13 laps down, but back out there.
And Mark Martin, Robbie has fresher tires, has a fast race car. Mark just let him go. He didn't want to fool around there with him, being on his back bumper.
The 78 car of Tom Hubert has been trying to move up through the field, and sometimes are good, sometimes are bad.
And this is one of the bad times. You try to get on the inside of Morgan Shepherd in the 78 car. He nails the gas. He does a 360. Jeff Davis goes by in the 9 car. There goes Sean Woodside, the 07.
And speaking of bad times, it's a bad time for Ricky Rudd, Doc.
Well, the 5-time road course winner sits in his tied Ford behind the wall. Ricky, he had a great run going, but what happened?
Well, we were beat. Seemed like we could run around top 5 somewhere like that, but just trying to save the tires, wait for the end of the race. But we were about a 5th place car today, and all of a sudden, no reason, no excuse really, just came out of this turn 11 down here in front of the pits and he grabbed the gears and took off, and all of a sudden everything in the rear end broke. So it broke a ratchet or broke the ring and pinion. I'm not really sure which one. It's kind of an unusual thing. I've never had one happen before.
You're known to be so easy on equipment. You're sort of the Arthur Murray of road racers here. I mean, you're so easy with the pedals and gears. Any idea you've never had this happen before?
Well, you can't, if the driver wheel hops the car under braking, then you can tear up some stuff in the rear end, but it was pretty easy on equipment all day. Nothing really, no warnings, no indication or anything. Just trying to take care of the equipment and snap. But like I said, I've never lost a gear before on a road course, so it's a new one for us. I'm really puzzled.
We're watching turn 11 a lot, Ricky. It looks like it's getting slipperier and slipperier. Is it slicker than ordinarily out there?
Well, that's where we're losing most of our time. We were giving up to the leaders about 3/10 right there in that corner. We just couldn't get through it. I could turn into the corner good, but I couldn't even begin to touch the accelerator. If I did, it just light the tires up through every gear I could grab. So we just missed that combination. Some of the guys have been able to figure it out, but yeah, it seems to be a little slicker than normal there.
All right, Ricky Rudd behind the wall, the man who won the inaugural Save Mart 300 here back in 1989. Bob?
So Rudd back in the garage area while a great battle is ensuing here on the racetrack. That's Lance Hooper in car number 20 and the 31 of Mike Skinner, and that is a battle for 20th position, right. So here at Sears Point International Raceway, it is Mark Martin leading, and for those of you watching us on ESPN News, we will see you later and keep you updated. Lance Hooper having a pretty good run here in the 20th position as we are at Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma, California. 35 laps to go in this 74-lap race. Mark Martin is leading, followed by Rusty Wallace, and the Radio Shack field summary will show you where everybody else is running.
And folks, we have not had a caution flag to this period. No caution flags over halfway. As a matter of fact, Mark Martin was the leader at halfway. He got the money from Gatorade for leading at halfway. This is unheard of at Sears Point at a road course. As difficult as they are, no cautions yet.
Had a few cars to go off the track, but they got right back on the track and kept going. Had some that have spent some time off the track in the garage area, as Ricky Rudd is now, changing transmission. And Bobby Hillen had a problem. He's off the track.
And 32 cars are on the lead lap. Sterling Marlin, the last car on the lead lap. And the 18 car of Bobby Labonte is still on the move. He's up to 13th right now.
That's Ted Musgrave, John Andretti. There we see Bobby Labonte in the 18 car, and then Ernie Irvin. All those cars battling for position. And we saw the 11 car of Brett Bodine just go out of the picture, so they're not that far from 10th spot.
And there the 78 is off the course again. Tom Hubert, who was a tire changer for the 30 car, Johnny Benson, until this week, and he has put on the helmet and got out there and qualified the car well. And the 31 finally got the 20.
Well, Hubert is still on the lead lap, Bob. He's being shown in 29th position.
And now Mike Skinner moves up into 20th spot. Lance Hooper back to 21st, and there is Steve Grissom in the 22nd spot.
And Steve Grissom is driving with a broken foot, but he broke at Bristol in the crash, he and Jeff Bodine. As you watch all this, Robbie Gordon once again is making his way to pit road, so obviously that fix didn't last long.
Robbie is 13 laps down to the leaders. Where are the leaders? We'll catch them up here on the hill somewhere. There they are.
There they are.
And again,
Oh, look.
Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon look like they have closed up. And Rusty Wallace, looking to Speedsnet, he is off the pace. He's a mile an hour slower than both Labonte and Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon. So Rusty Wallace right now is having some problems.
Then you remember before on their first run, his car seemed to give up a little bit more on the long run than Mark Martin and Terry Labonte and some of those. That might be happening now as we watch this battle as 18 has gotten around the 98 car. Bobby Labonte has taken over the 12th position.
John Andretti back to third. Oh, and the Lance Hooper car is in for trouble. And a lot of smoke coming from the rear end of that car. Whoa, he almost spun there in pit road.
Yeah, he's losing some oil or grease or something coming into the pits. They'll have to be very careful, other drivers, when they make their pit stops.
That could be a caution time. That was going in turn 11. If he's lost any fluid on the racetrack, the NASCAR officials quickly will throw out the caution.
Well, Jerry, what's the matter with Rusty Wallace? He is not as fast as he was a few laps ago.
Well, Bob, it's not good news for the Rusty Wallace fans. He is on 7 cylinders right now at Sears Point, so that problem could get worse and worse today goes on. They're going to try to milk this thing to the finish, but 7 cylinders still with quite a ways to go on a very demanding road course. But now the caution will come out, and they will get a chance maybe to bring the car on the pit road. A full course caution will give some of these crews a chance to be able to dial these cars in for the final run in the checkers.
Now the caution is out. Pit road is closed. So now, do they pit on the caution flag, change tires?
Well, they're going to have about 31 laps to go, and that'll be stretching it. They might be able to go that far on a tank of fuel, and I'm sure there will be some that'll do it. So, yeah, they'll probably stop.
It's our first caution of the afternoon, and it comes past the halfway mark. 43 laps have been completed. We'll see pit stops when we come back. From high above Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma, California, and the overhead shot is courtesy of Pennzoil. The Pennzoil Copter Cam is providing once again the overhead shots, and the cars are lined up behind the pace car, and before too long they'll be coming in, or some of them will, for a pit stop.
There they come. They're heading down pit road. You see the pace car going on down the racetrack and the race cars coming into the pits.
Right now there's only one car, and I suppose that car is a lap down that has not pitted. 37 car, Jeremy Mayfield didn't pit.
Yeah, he's a lap down, Benny.
Okay.
Wow, a parade to the pit area, and things are going to get very, very busy in there. Bill Weber, go ahead.
Well, we talked earlier about how exciting it would be on pit road today. Virtually everybody is here, including Jeff Burton. He will get 4 tires and fuel, the half-pound added to the front and a half-pound into the rear. He'll make a track bar adjustment on the X-side Ford. Burton's right side is around. They're coming around to the left side, and we go to Dr. Punch.
Likewise, right side tires are on Mark Martin's Valvoline Ford. No adjustments, a wedge whatsoever. A slide air pressure adjustment. They clean the windshield. Left front tire on. Left rear tire on. Lug nuts fast. It's full of fuel. And Terry Labonte will beat Mark Martin out of the pits. Great pit stop by the Kellogg's crew.
And I believe that Rusty Wallace has beaten both Mark and Terry out of the pit. So Rusty picks up the position in the pit area. And that is exactly where it wasn't he the one that told us that that's the best place to pick up a position was in the pits, and he did indeed. Oh, that's right. But obviously it is, because Rusty has gone into the lead as a result of good work in the pit area.
Right now, Terry Labonte's ahead on the racetrack. NASCAR is going to have to sort this out.
Okay.
It looked like Rusty might have beaten. We got to sort it out.
All right. We shall see then. There's the 5. There's the 2. We have 3 lap cars that are ahead of...
right now, they have the 5 car in the lead.
We'll see what happens when they line up for the restart. In the meantime, with the caution still out and the cleanup continuing from oil on the track, we'll take a break. Track facts are brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil for a clean running engine.
Ordinarily on an oval track, you want to be the last one to come on the pit road. If you can keep your car on the racetrack and maybe catch a caution flag while everyone else pits, you can come in and everyone else is a lap down. Just the opposite here on a road course. You want to be the first one to pit. It's called short pitting. If you come in first, everyone else comes in behind you because you don't lose a lap in the pits. You're the leader or possibly the winner. But you got a short pit within your fuel window. And right up there, that's Richie Gilmore. He is the guy who calculates fuel for Terry Labonte. Now what he does is figure out how far they can go on a single tank of fuel. Let me show you what his calculations were. Take a look here. The car number 5, it's a 74-lap race. They can go 32 laps on each tank of fuel. Subtract 32 from 74 means they pit anytime after lap 42. That's their window. They can go to the rest of the way and possibly win the race. And let me show you next door, Mark Martin's window. Now, their calculations are this: 74 laps in a race, they can only go 27 laps per tank of fuel. They have to pit at lap 47 or later to make it all the way. Folks, they just pitted on lap 43.
That will be interesting. Now, how much they'll save depending on how many caution laps we have here and how much you'll be able to save on that.
You know, pit stops are very, very important. Watch this as Mark Martin's jackman. First of all, they have some trouble on the right rear. Butch is all done on the front. We're waiting on the right rear. Finally, the jackman comes around. Now, watch as he drops this jack. He's supposed to drop the jack right under the car, but it slips out of his hand. The handle slipped out of his right hand. He still doesn't have it. Now he's got to get the jack under the car. That precious second might have taken him from first to third. In the pits, all it takes is one little slip, one lug nut to fall off, the jack fall out of your hand, and you go from first to third.
And indeed, that is where he will restart. And Terry Labonte did beat Rusty Wallace out of the pit. So at the moment, Terry Labonte is the leader. We're still under caution at Sears Point. Beautiful overhead shot of Sears Point Raceway in the Sonoma Valley, about 45 miles north of San Francisco. Now, for some reason, NASCAR has put the 6 car of Mark Martin ahead of the 5 and the 2.
Well, we showed a replay just a moment ago, and the 5 car crossed the white line. Maybe we were picking up the white line, the wrong white line. Okay. Right there. I guess that's the white line they're going by, and the NASCAR officials have said that Mark Martin crossed that line. What we were going by was the line on up the racetrack, right there. Man, that
Boy,
is
that
close,
is
man.
really close, isn't it?
Wow. That is close.
It's too close to call. Well, we were going green, but we're not now. One more lap of caution.
And that's going to help Mark Martin on that fuel situation. Gives him one more lap at slow speed, not burning a lot of fuel here. So Jerry Punch pointed out that he needed to go to lap 47. Well, they're going to complete lap 45. It still might be a little bit shy, but.
And there's a conversation between Gary Dehart and NASCAR officials regarding the restart positioning.
I don't think Terry Labonte has led this race yet today, has he? He would have if he'd have stayed out front there, but that would certainly be a concern that they would have, that 5 bonus points.
Well, the computer here is showing that Terry has led a lap, but it could have been the one that is in contention right now.
Right. I think it was while he was out front going around there, but it should have been Mark Martin's lap.
In any case, while they continue to have their discussion, we will take another break here at Sears Point Raceway. 45 out of 74 laps now completed. Back at Sears Point Raceway under caution, and the question is, who is the leader of the race? And where is the line that they determine who's leading the race?
Well, I guess they're saying that this line just before the bridge is the line that decides who will be leading the race. And these cars are right there. Roll it and we'll see. There's Labonte's moving. He moves out, and now Mark moves. And it's just so difficult to tell. Let's try a different shot. There goes Mark. Labonte's moving. And it's close.
Yes, it is.
But NASCAR.
This is the white line. Here's the white line we were talking about a moment ago. And obviously, Labonte was in front at that line. And that's when I thought that was one that decided it, but obviously it's not.
But that's already past pit road.
All right, Jerry.
What they're telling us down here, guys, this line right here to my left, that's the white line that they use to determine who exits the pit first. In fact, who is the lead, instead of the yellow line. And the ladies at the end of pit road down here, those two ladies standing there are the ones who made a determination. They're the ones that said that it was 6-5 and then 2.
Well, the green flag is out, and Rusty Wallace was very, very loose as he came up the hill.
Well, that's one reason, because the 24 car got in the back of him, I think. They say that Rusty's on 7 cylinders, so obviously he's underpowered. He doesn't look like he's underpowered there.
No, he comes up that hill pretty good. Moves right up on Terry Labonte.
Now, the 37 car of Jeremy Mayfield is on the lead lap, but just barely.
Just on the tail end of the lead lap. He is in 31st position. You'd like to see another caution flag before they get back to the start-finish line if he can stay out in front.
Mark Martin at turn 7, because Jeremy, I don't think, pitted, and Rusty, we see him getting a little sideways. I don't think Jeremy pitted, so his tires are worn. There goes Jeremy. Mark looks like he's on the inside. Yes, he is. There goes Terry Labonte. Now, this could help Mark. Watch him pull away. Watch this acceleration as Mark just pulls away from the 5 car.
And Rusty's going to have to stay behind the 37 car, but the 37 pulled away from him, so that was not a problem. Now Rusty moves back a little bit closer on him, but he'll have to stay behind him at least through the S's. So Mark Martin will get a long way ahead of Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon.
28 laps to go in this race. Off of corner 10, down the straightaway, and headed toward turn 11. And even now, Rusty Wallace is not going to be able to pass Jeremy Mayfield. Let's take a look at the Bud race recap. Mark Martin has led 42 of the 46 laps, so he has picked up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. 4 lead changes. 1 caution period lasted 4 laps. The average speed is 78.4 miles an hour. Here are the drivers that have led: Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Jarrett. And as far as cars out of the race, they include Lance Hoover, Gary Bradbury, and Jeff Bodine. Everybody else is still out there.
Rusty got up on the bumps there.
Here's Jeff.
Cost him, Jeff Gordon trying to go on the inside of him. Ooh. Couldn't quite make it.
Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett and Bill Elliott are hanging right in there too, right behind Jeff.
Yeah, Bill Elliott had a great pit stop. Came out in 6th place. He was running about 8.
And Rusty Wallace moves over and lets Jeff Gordon go by. And he realizes that he is holding up the whole line of cars, but now he's letting Jarrett go by. There goes Elliott, Burton, and we see the smoke coming out of the Miller Lite Ford.
He's got serious problems now. Looks like he may be headed for the pits as smoke pours out of the Miller Lite Ford, and Rusty Wallace is in trouble, Jerry.
Well, Rusty's words are, guys, I just blew it up. He said, let's load it up and go home.
My goodness.
Just try to nurse it back to the pits.
So the driver who has won more road course races than any other active driver is about to retire.
Ever see Rusty Wallace? Look how high that car gets off the corner, off the ground as he hits those strips.
He could have revved that thing on up there when those wheels got off the ground, Ben. He could have revved that engine up pretty high there.
So he's got the gloves off. He's taking the helmet off and calling it a day. Rusty Wallace out of competition.
Watch him drive it with his knee. Hold the steering wheel with his knee.
Although he'd reported earlier that a cylinder had gone away, and so that's probably what caused the engine to blow. Some parts got loose in there as we watched Ernie Irvin and John Andretti race.
That's the battle for 12th position. Andretti has 12th, and Ernie Irvin wants it.
That's what's the great thing about a race. There's always somebody got something that somebody else wants.
That's pretty good.
Whether it be real estate or car or whatever.
Whatever, exactly right. See the Walter brothers there racing together. Racing for 7th spot, Michael and Darrell. There they go. Looks like Darrell might have him. And Andretti might have
Musgrave.
Nope.
Ted's having a pretty good run. He's 11th at the moment.
And Darrell didn't get Michael either.
Bobby Labonte now has worked his way up to 10th.
Uh-oh, that's the wrong way. Somebody's going the wrong way.
Wallace.
I think it's Mike Wallace.
In the spam car. He's just got to find a place he can turn that thing around.
That's up in turn 7.
There he found him a wide spot.
He was running 24th, and he lost about 6 or 7 spots as those cars eased by him while he was sitting there in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, he's going to be back to about 29th position, the last car on the lead lap.
He hustles down through the S's, and Bill Weber is with Rusty Wallace.
Well, I know you're disappointed. What happened? I overrevved the thing about halfway through the race, and I must have tagged a valve. It started missing after that, and it was running on about 7.5 cylinders, which was still okay. I was able to keep up and maybe even be a little faster, but then with about 2 laps ago, it lost a whole entire cylinder then and started seizing up, and so I had to shut it down.
You got really high in one of the turns out there coming off the ripple strips. Did that contribute to it?
No, that wouldn't have nothing to do with it. What happened, I got in real deep, real hot, missed a shift, and got the motorway up there, and it was my own fault. That's about it.
You thought this was going to be your day, didn't you?
Well, the car's fast as lightning. It was just flying, and early in the race, it took the lead, and got down in turn 7 too hot. I mean, I made 2 big mistakes today that I normally don't make. Running off the course right there, and when I had probably the best car out there for sure, and then over-revving the thing. So sometimes you got a good day, sometimes you got bad. That was all my fault today. I had to go home and soup it back up.
Okay, and he's got a good qualifying spot already for Talladega next week.
Hut Strickland has just exited the pit area from being in because of a right front that was flat.
As we see Mark Martin leading Terry Labonte still, as we see Hut Strickland go out on the track. Rusty Wallace mentioned that he might have been faster as a result of running on what he calls 7.5 cylinders. The reason that it might have been a little bit faster, he didn't have as much power off the turns. As the track gets slicker, he was able to get a little better traction coming off the turns.
Look how close Terry Labonte is now to the leader, Mark Martin. Terry Labonte has won 2 road course races, both of them at Riverside, one in '84, one in '85. He has never won here at Sears Point.
But his
best finish was a second back in '92.
But he's a serious contender here today.
Yes, he is.
There's old DW, who's able to get by Michael. He has moved into 7th spot, as you see on the pylon.
How about that?
Great run for Darrell Walker today.
Good battle in front of him there as Jeff Burton and Bill Elliott go at it for the 5th and 6th places. Bill Elliott has the 5th spot right there, the 94 and the 99. 5th and 6th.
Here's Burton looking inside. He may outbreak Elliott, and I believe he's going to get the position.
Well, let's see if he can get traction off the turn.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
How about that?
Yeah.
Bill Weber is down in Hut Strickland's pit area with the tire that just came off Hut's car.
Yeah, you don't want to open your trunk and find this one as your spare. This is what happens when the brake duct rubs against the inside of your tire. It doesn't last too long. You have to come in and get a new one. So disappointment for Hut Strickland. Had to come in and get a tire. And frustrating day. We talked earlier about how you have to have a perfect setup when you come to a road course. There's really no margin for error here. And obviously that cost Hut.
So Mark Martin has about a 5-car length advantage on Terry Labonte. Jeff Gordon is running 3rd, then Dale Jarrett and Jeff Burton. Mark Martin continues to lead here at Sears Point with Terry Labonte running in 2nd position. Mark Martin eligible for $30,400 bonus in Unocal money, and he is looking for his first win since Charlotte in October of 1995. He didn't win a race in 1996. He's in the lead at the moment.
It was a great battle between Michael Walker, Brett Bodine, and Bobby Labonte. Ted Musgrave, John Andretti, Ernie Irvin, Ward Burton, Jimmy Spencer,
Dale Earnhardt.
Jimmy Spencer, a good run. He's up in 15th position, and Dale Earnhardt is racing with him, and Jimmy has a very clean race car. Not very many marks on it.
No dings on the car today.
He started in 25th position and has improved himself by 10 with 22 laps to go. Dale Earnhardt started 32nd, of course. So he too has passed several cars. The fifth place car is the 99 of Jeff Burton, and Bill Weber has a report from his pit area.
Well, you have to be good and you have to be lucky to win here at Sears Point. I want to show you the right front, check that, the left front tire that Jeff Burton started this race on. The tire looks fine, but come around here and look at the rim. He rubbed with Robbie Gordon and it literally peeled the rim away. You can see what the crew thinks about it, ouch. But it did not do any damage other than peeling the rim away. So Jeff was very lucky in that situation. He's in a brand new car that they brought here. And you can see here that the valve stem has been broken away as well. So Jeff was very lucky. Now in that new car that he's driving, there's a lot of Mark Martin in that car because when they came here a year ago, Jeff and Mark worked together. In fact, those cars, the 6 and the 99, are about as similar as they can be without the same guy driving it. And one other similarity they have is that Jeff Burton cannot reach the finish either. He can only go about 26 laps on a full load of fuel.
And we have a full course caution. The 81 of Kenny Wallace is up in the tire barrier. We see him moving around in there, so hopefully he's okay.
We also see some damage, pretty serious damage to the right front.
Car is up in the tires on the hill.
There's the crew watching TV trying to figure out what happened to the car. They don't see that. They want to see this.
Wow, he had quite a ride up there, I would guess. Let's take a look at it. There he goes off course.
Down in the carousel.
Wow. Just shot straight up in there. And,
Looks like he might have locked up the rear brakes going in the corner, started the thing wheel hopping, and just had to back off the brakes.
And so for the second time this afternoon, the caution flag comes out. This is going to bunch up the field and allow them to make pit stops. Once again, we'll take a break while they get bunched up and be back in just a moment with more. Caution is out for the second time here at Sears Point because Kenny Wallace has run up the hill into the tires. As you can see, he is okay and looking underneath the car.
Well, he's trying to figure out some place to put the hook. See the big hook there? Kenny wants to put the hook around there and not hurt anything, so he's the guy trying to figure out.
This occurred as they came into turn number 6.
Right, and they're running about 80 miles per hour as they go in the corner. And he goes in and just locks up. I guess he started hopping the rear wheels. He locks up the brakes. The left front just goes, car goes straight. When the front starts sliding, the car just goes straight. And watch this impact as he goes in the tire barrier. That guy was quick on that yellow flag, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Boom. Heavy contact.
Ernie Irvin has come into the pit, so has Bill Elliott.
Mark must be going to gamble. Mark must be going to gamble these caution flags that he can make it.
apparently Bill Elliott had slid off the track or something. He had dropped from 5th place back to 14th place. So he must have gotten off track somewhere or lost a lot of ground. And so once he got that far back, he decided, well, I better come in and get me some new tires and top off the fuel, be sure I got enough to go the rest of the way.
Right side work is complete on Ernie Irvin's car. Now they're in Kyle Petty's pit along with Bill Elliott. Crew's going to go to the left side of Kyle Petty's car. Bill Weber has more on the 94 car.
Yeah, Bill Elliott had radioed in. He felt like something came loose in the drive shaft. So they've got a crew member underneath that car trying to check that out. But he had a vibration, thinks it may be something in the drive shaft.
Okay, so that's what caused him to lose those positions out on the racetrack. The caution was a blessing for him. Kenny Wallace getting back in his car as the record gets hooked up to the Square D Ford number 81.
And Jerry Punch has more on the strategy being employed here by the leaders.
We showed you the calculations a little bit ago in the Valvoline pits. Now, it's going to be very, very close. They think now, based on their most recent calculations and the caution laps, that they can make it. They had a long discussion with Jack Roush and Steve Mill on top of that wagon right there about the possibility of making a pit stop. Steve said, we sort of wanted to pit, but we wanted to make everyone else think we had to pit, and they did not come on pit road. However, the car number 5 can make it, and some concern in the 24 pit. I talked to Michael Landis, Jeff Gordon's gas man, because of some spillage on that last pit stop. Landis's calculations say that the 24 car can make it to lap 72 and a half. Folks, it's a 74 lap race.
Yeah, that ain't enough. There's Jeff Gordon, and right behind him is Dale Jarrett as they continue to clean up here after Kenny Wallace's accident. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Save Mart Supermarkets 300 from Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma, California. Being brought to you by Foster's Lager, Australian for beer. By the more than 1,525 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. We remain under caution here at Sears Point. Let's take a look at a Radio Shack field summary here as the cars continue to circulate at reduced speed. Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton are running in the top 5, with Darrell Waltrip running in 6th position and his brother right behind him in 7th.
And Brett Bodine is 8th. Bobby Labonte up to 9th now. Ted Musgrave 10th. Bill Elliott being shown as 11th, but we understand that they're going to change the transmission on the McDonald's Ford number 94. And John Andretti there being shown in 12th. Ernie Irvin 13th. Ward Burton 14th. And Jimmy Spencer 15th.
16th through 30 this afternoon. Earnhardt's back there in 16th. Morgan Shepherd, Kyle Petty, Mike Skinner, Steve Grissom, Wally Dallenbach, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Hamilton, Dave Marcus, Johnny Benson, Derek Cope, Mike Wallace, Butch Gilliland, Mike Hubert, and Kenny Wallace was credited for 30th with the laps he's run, but I don't think he'll finish that high this afternoon.
Well, a la Dale Earnhardt at Daytona, he got back in the car. We're talking about Kenny Wallace, and he drove the car to pit road. As you can see, the drivers that are currently 31st through 44th with just 4 cars out of the race.
Now, the rundown that we have just shown you was the last full lap under green that they're in. We've had a few cars that have made pit stops since then, so that would jumble them up a little bit. Not any of the leaders, though. All those up in the top 10, none of them made pit stops. In fact, I don't think any in the top 13 or 14 made pit stops.
Let's go down to Jerry Punch, who has a story on Jeff Gordon.
Those of you at home may be wondering why, if the calculations here in the Gordon pit say they're going to run out of fuel in lap 72 or 72 and a half, why they wouldn't pit. Well, let me explain why the calculations can sometimes be misleading. Look behind me. There's a puddle area on pit road. Now, the gas man did his job. When he was trying to pack the fuel cell, he got gas back out the dry brake. Now, that gas that comes out the dry brake goes onto the ground. Basically, when you bring the can back and weigh it to see how much the car took, the scale doesn't know whether that gas went in the car or on the ground. So the scale says that you took more gas than you really took, which means your fuel mileage is down. They really think the car can make it all the way, but based on calculations, they would only go to 72 and a half. That's why they didn't come on the pit road.
Okay, similar situation down here in the 99 pit. Jeff Opel is their fuel mileage specialist, and he's been working back here with this calculator. He could probably balance my checkbook. Originally, they didn't think they'd be able to make it, but since the caution has come out and they are able to use less fuel under caution, now they think they've got a good possibility to reach lap 74. He may run out after the checkered flag, but these guys have offered to push him to victory lane if that's necessary.
And here, as Ned said, the 94 car of Bill Elliott is back in the garage area, and they're going to try to repair the transmission.
As a matter of fact, a record just pushed that car to the garage area.
Well, for the second race in a row, the True Value man of the race, as a result of his win at Martinsville, is Jeff Gordon. He ran his 23rd career NASCAR Winston Cup event at that time and registered his 6th top 5 finish of the season. True Value is donating $1,000 to the Leukemia Society of America on behalf of Jeff, whose dedication to that group continued to grow after his car owner, Rick Hendrick, was diagnosed with leukemia. Well, the lights atop the pace car, we understand, are out, and we are set to go back to racing.
And there will be 17 laps to go when they take the green flag.
You might wonder how slow they are going under this caution. The last lap was at 34.857 miles an hour. So they'll move that up by about 60 here in just a matter of moments.
weaving back and forth, trying to get all the debris off the tires. Remember this, Jeff Gordon says it cost him the victory last year when he didn't clean those tires well.
That's exactly right. He was in the lead and didn't clean the tires, and when the green flag came out, he spun the tires and got past. Well, here they come into quarter number 11 now, and the pace car will continue straight down the drag strip, and the others will take the green flag, and we will be back to competition here in the Save Mart Supermarket 300. And the green is out. Here we go.
Darrell Waltrip already trying to work on the 99 car of Jeff Burton.
They're all in 6th place. Jeff Burton in 5th as they come up the hill.
Beautiful overhead shot here from the Pennzoil copter cam as they come up the hill now. They peak right there and start downhill now to turn 4.
And when you see that mountain on the right, that's the mountain we're talking about moving. That was a mountain last year. They have moved it someplace else to give the fans better visibility around this racetrack.
We'll probably see more on this road course than any other road course I've ever been to, as far as the fans are concerned. And it's going to get better.
There's the carousel. Oh, John Andretti is spun.
John had made a pit stop, I believe, and he's was in 22nd position, but he's going to go back to 27 cars still being shown on the lead lap, so it cost him 4 or 5 positions.
And here they come through corner number 11. It's still Mark Martin showing the way. Labonte right on his heels.
Turn number 7 that they came off of there and headed down through the S's.
And right there, they're running about 135 miles an hour. That's about where Bobby Labonte hit the other day in qualifying. Through turn 10, about 100 miles an hour. Now they accelerate to 125 miles an hour before they slam on the brakes, downshift, and get down to 40 miles per hour. 3,500 in second gear.
Boy, Gordon got awful close to hitting Labonte there as they went around the corner. Let's take a look at what happened to John Andretti up on top of the hill last lap.
Goes in the corner. I see Kyle Petty made some contact with the rear, and around goes John.
Like they were trying to be 3 deep there going in that corner, and 2 deep is too many.
The other car was the 07 of Sean Woodside. Look at this. Oh, Gordon may have Labonte now. They go into the corner side by side, and Dale Jarrett tries to take advantage also, but Gordon has second spot.
Turn 4, a good spot to pass if you can get the jump on the guy coming off of 3A.
I think Terry slipped a little bit in 3 or 3A1 then in, cost him a little bit of momentum, and Gordon was right there to take advantage of it.
Well, they almost bumped bumpers back in corner number 11. But let's take a look at it again as they come up the hill here.
This is turn 1A actually. They go up the hill, and there he gets sideways right there.
Lost his momentum.
And look at him smoke the brakes as he tries to get into, get his angle right to get into. He never can get the angle right, so he's not able to get on the accelerator like he wants to off the corner, which lets Jeff Gordon get a run on him.
And now Dale Jarrett closes in on Labonte for third position. All this happening behind Mark Martin, who has lengthened his lead because of this. Kenny Wallace is watching from the sidelines, as his brother Rusty Wallace is also doing.
Kenny was pitting out in Gilligan's Island. All the cars can't pit on pit road, so some of them got to come out in the infield, and that's called Gilligan's Island.
Well, there's some great racing going on back in the pack for position from about 10th back through 15th or 20th. Ricky Rudd is not one of them in the car number 10. He was in for a transmission change, so he's 8 laps down.
Ernie Irvin, after making that pit stop, trying to work his way back to the front. Right behind Derek Cope, the Skittles car.
71 and Marcus is also in a battle for position here with Kyle Petty. Here's Brett Bodine and Michael Waltrip and Bobby Labonte.
7th, 8th, 9th. There's 10th and 11th and 12th and 13th, and it goes on and on.
Down through the carousel once again, turn number 6. Michael Waltrip holding on to that position, which is 8th. Now Now let's see if Bobby can make a move here on the straightaway, headed for turn number 7. Oh, looks like Derek Cope got off in the grass there, got wheels off the racetrack, and the yellow flag was waving there by the corner worker.
Yeah, that was a corner flag. That was not a course flag.
But man, look at the spots that Derek is losing. Mike Wallace tries to go by the 91 car.
So good racing indeed going on throughout the pack here, but at the moment, Mark Martin is the leader over Gordon, Labonte, Jarrett, and Burton. 14 laps to go in the Save Mart Supermarkets 300, the 9th race of the season for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. And another race comes to you this coming Saturday. It's the rescheduled rained-out event at Talladega. We begin it all Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time with NASCAR Today on ESPN2. And then we'll pick up our live coverage of the Winston 500 at 1:30 Eastern Time this coming Saturday here on ESPN. The high banks of Talladega Super Speedway. Well, before we went to break, we saw that Derek Cope had spun, and that's how he did it.
Yeah, Derek Cope goes around, a little help from Ernie Irvin in the back of the Skittles Pontiac, and tell you what, Derek does a 360, continues on, but he did lose several positions.
He's back now in 24th position.
And we got a good battle for 12th position going on between Jimmy Spencer and Dale Earnhardt. And boy, Earnhardt has come up through after a 32nd place start.
He's bouncing that thing off of those banks down on the inside, or the curbing, or whatever you want to call it. So there are some whipple strips at some places.
How about that one car, Morgan Shepherd?
Yep.
Took a provisional, didn't he, to start the race?
Yep, running 15th now.
And there's the 31 car of Mike Skinner also involved in this little battle. There he is behind Morgan Shepherd, the leading rookie contender in the series this year. And here comes another Radio Shack Field submarine. Look at Earnhardt driving the wheels off of it.
And so is Jimmy Spencer. All these guys, really.
That's a shortcut, didn't work. It was a little bit of a long cut that time.
By the way, Bill Elliott has completed repairs on his car and is back on the racetrack.
Morgan
just about missed the corner.
Down.
Yeah. A little bit of damage on the front end of that one car, but Morgan Shepherd is in 14th spot. 27 cars still on the lead lap as we reach the conclusion of this event. And it looks like that John Andretti and another...
Who's the car number 9?
Is that Jeff Davis?
I believe it is. In the number 9 car, they have crashed outside of turn number 11.
And there's a fire.
And a fire in Jeff Davis's car.
He's trying to start the car. That was the fire in the exhaust, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to go very well.
Well, looks like he's rolling, but John Andretti isn't.
This will bring out the caution, no doubt.
Yep.
Helping the fuel mileage on those guys that were running close.
There is Jeff Davis, who grew up in Carmel, Indiana, but came out here and has been running some Winston West races. Here's how it occurred.
Did you ever see the 98 car? He's on the inside of the 77. And he comes off the corner. And here he's going to come off and boom, he and the 9 are going to make some serious contact. I guess John felt like once he got by the 77, that the racetrack was clean, he could go back up against the outside retaining wall. But unfortunately, the 9 car of Jeff Davis was there.
So Jeff Davis comes in as the caution flag once again comes out for the 3rd time this afternoon here at Sears Point. Welcome back to Sears Point. You can see in the distance the Golden Gate Bridge. That's about an hour drive, hour south of here at Sears Point Raceway. And our overhead shots are courtesy again of the Pennzoil Copter Cam.
Tonight it might be a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a traffic jam getting out of here because record attendance here at this race today. We are under caution for the 3rd time because of an accident involving John Andretti and Jeff Davis. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, they come into turn 11, you see the RCA Ford get down on the inside of Bobby Hill in the car number 77. The 9 car is up there, and John Andretti accelerates off the turn, accelerates right out into the 9 car, and Bob, I think their wheels sort of locked together when they came off of that turn, and he couldn't cut the car any further. Let's see, right there, the wheels get together, and John Andretti couldn't turn the steering wheel.
Pretty serious damage to both of those cars.
John Andretti finally got going and continued around the racetrack. Now he has made it to the pit area. Davis drove to his pits immediately. So, third caution again out. Cleanup is continuing there at turn number 11. We're a little more than 10 laps away from the finish of this race. Great timing just as they come out of corner number 11 and look for the green flag. They get it. We're back to racing with 9 laps to go. By the way, Kenny Wallace is back on track. He came into the pits. They sheared away all of the broken sheet metal, and he's back out there. Morgan Shepherd a little sideways coming up the hill.
A bit of bumping coming up through there. Several cars saw bumped a little bit, and that's a place that they'll do that, is just go down and get around that corner, and somebody coming in there a little bit faster. Ooh, Jeff Gordon got a little loose there, and so did Terry Labonte.
Oh, look at Dale Jarrett go to the inside of Terry Labonte. Tried to get the position, couldn't do it.
But on the carousel, that's not a good place, I don't think, DJ. No, he decided, I got to get back on the inside quick. But he's going to try to get on the inside or the outside, whichever it is.
Look at the 99 and the 17 right there also. Here comes Jarrett to the outside in turn 7. Can't make the pass. Now watch him cross over maybe and get it. Nope, couldn't do it.
Position is everything. Get off the corner is everything. Right now, Labonte having struggled to keep up with the first 2 cars of Martin and Jeff Gordon.
You know, in the first lap of the last restart, Terry Labonte had problems. Jeff Gordon got by on that restart, but after that, his car seems to come in a little bit. The tires come in a little bit better.
And look at Darrell Waltrip, who's running in 6th spot. How about that?
She's having a great day.
Pretty serious damage to the right front of Darrell's car. He's made contact with something.
Yes, Brett Ludine, they're running in 7th place. He's having a good day.
Darrell's got his best finish of 1997 going. His best finish to this point was a 9th at Martinsville. He is now 6th.
Good for DW.
Yep.
He's a good road racer.
Sure is.
5 wins, all at Riverside.
Oh, he's got a position on the 99. Here he goes.
Now, but 99 has the position going into that left-hand turn.
Now they go 3A and down the hill to 4. If Darrell really gets off his corner, maybe he can dive on the inside. No, can't do it. Jeff Gordon's closing up pretty close to the leader, Mark Martin, as we watch Darrell, the 17th car, following 99.
Let's give a hats off to Brett Bodine also, who's running in 7th position. Good run for him.
He's having a great day. Qualified 5th and just stayed up in the top 10 just about all day.
And he has his best finish going also. His best finish to this point, 10th at Bristol.
And look at Jeff Gordon. He is there. Has he been saving something all day long?
Wouldn't surprise me. That's his style.
He's closing in.
Turn 11 seems to be his favorite place to try to overtake the 6 car. This is turn 10. Charge down to 11. Is he going to try to outbrake him? Look at the nose of that car dive as he slams on the brakes. Can't do it this time.
He was in close.
Man,
Mark will accelerate off the turn. Didn't pick, well, about a car length he picked up coming off the turn.
Well, Mark Martin has gone 42 races without a win, but during that time he's had 17 top 5s, 40%. 69% of the time he's finished in the top 10, and he has led 50% of the races, and in that time he has also won 10 Busch Grand National event, 11 Busch Grand National events. Jerry?
And Bobby has won 3 times on road courses, but all 3 have come at Watkins Glen. He has never won at Sears Point. He came so close here 2 years ago. Remember, 2 laps to go in turn 6. He slipped a little bit to the middle of the groove. Earnhardt made the move and got his first ever and only road course victory. I asked Steve Neal a moment ago, what about it in the final lap of the season? I can tell you one thing, Doc. With 2 to go, Mark Martin is going to be hugging that inside groove big time in the carousel.
Well, we're getting down to it here. And the 99 car of Jeff Burton just drove off the course, we understand.
But Darrell Walter up into 5th spot.
Well, let's see what happened to Jeff Burton. He was running in 5th, and there he is. Apparently got in there a little bit too hard, put the brakes on.
Almost the same point that Kenny Wallace crashed.
Yep, but he wasn't going as fast, and he was able to get it back on track, but he lost several positions. In fact, he dropped back to about 11th.
Once again, headed for turn number 11.
And Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett has joined this race. This is a great battle. Just 6 laps going across the line. 4 cars, nose to tail.
There's DW back there in the 5th place. About 3 seconds behind. Well, it was actually 5 seconds behind the leader, 3 seconds behind the 4th place car.
And Ward Burton, Ernie Irvan, and Dale Earnhardt are all nose to tail.
And they are battling for 12th, 13th, 14th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Earnhardt's in 13th.
Earnhardt smoked that right front, and there's some contact between the 28 and 22.
Got him loose and took advantage.
Ernie moved to the inside. And made the pass.
All right, now headed toward turn 7 once again. The lead quartet. Still separated each by about a car length and a half or so. Here comes Ted Musgrave and Michael Waltrip and Jeff Burton, who has dropped back to 10th position. Kyle Petty now. He is up to 14th, having passed Jimmy Spencer.
Labonte up to 7th now.
That last lap, the fastest lap, was turned by Dale Jarrett in 4th position. And we've said it many times before, it's especially...
Oh, we see the smoke in the right front. I'm sorry. I was watching something else. Kyle Petty went in the corner, smoked the right front tire, and I saw that. I had to say something.
I was going to say, catching somebody and passing him are 2 different things, especially on a road course.
Yes.
Now, what were you watching here, BP?
Watch this, Kyle Petty. Yeah, it was the front tire.
He was about to run all over Dale Earnhardt.
Yes,
boy,
he was.
Got that thing slowed down just in time.
And he gives a whole new meaning to the term Hot Wheels.
To turn 5. Up, down through the carousel, turn 6. 75 miles an hour. Now accelerate. Let's go back up to 135, 40 miles an hour before you slam on the brakes and start downshifting again.
Just a little more than 4 laps to go, and we don't want to jinx him, but we're beginning to wonder now if the long dry spell for Mark Martin is about to end. He has certainly looked good all race long and continues to do so.
And Jeff Gordon, this would be a very sweet victory for him. He lived here in Vallejo, about 20 miles away until he was, what, 13 years old?
Yeah, he was born here and moved to Indiana only because the state of California wouldn't allow him to drive sprint cars.
He's going for 3 in a row. He won the last 2 races at Bristol and Martinsville, Jeff Gordon. There's that battle from 5th on back. Ernie Irvan now has moved up to 11th.
Check the interval on everybody as they cross the line. It's about a half-second lead for Mark Martin. Almost a 2 3/4 second lead over Dale Jarrett. And 1 through 10 are separated by about 10 seconds.
Man, those cars really are doing a very good job getting around this road course. 3,400-pound cars with just 11, 12-inch rubber on them. This is what we're used to seeing the Trans Am cars, the cars that weigh 2,000 pounds with wide rubber on the cars. And here's a slow car in front of these leaders. Is it going to play into it up in turn 7? No. He's going to get out of the way. John Woodside moves over in the 07 car and lets him go by. Never see Kenny Wallace very, very slow.
Jeff Gordon's best finish here at Sears Point up to now, 3rd in 1995, 2 years ago. This is his 5th race here. And there is the Kenny Wallace car.
He's just trying his best not to get in the way.
Looking at Ernie Irvin, I thought he may be able to get to the inside of Jeff Burton there coming off the corner, but couldn't. It's the battle for 10th. Burton is in 10th, Irvin in 11th.
That's an example of how important track position is. When he went off track, he got back there, he was running faster than this pack of cars. He was running as fast as the leaders were. And then he got off track, so he's with this pack of cars, so he's running the same speed that they're running, which is a little bit slower than the leaders are running. But that track position is so important. Here's Ernie going to try it on the outside. I don't think that'll work. No, it didn't. But you got to try everything and get this late in the race.
See that Jeff Gordon lost a half second that time to the leader, Mark Martin.
Yep. And the interval between 1st and 10th is now over 11 seconds.
Working the 72nd lap. Boy, Ernie is all over Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton's all over that car in front of him. Not quite as close, but pretty close. There goes Ernie.
Now he's got him.
What a great move that was.
Boy, he just shot that thing right in there. That hole was not there long, but he timed it perfect.
Ernie moves into 10th spot.
As we watch this, Kenny Schrader's back in the pits with another right front tire flat.
Now we see a battle between the Burton brothers, Jeff and Ward, right behind Ernie. And now to the leaders once again. When they hit the stripe, there will be 2 laps to go. There's Martin, there is Jeff Gordon, and the interval doesn't seem to be shrinking very much.
No, I don't think it is. You might wonder, well, has Gordon been just sort of cooling his tires here for these last couple of laps run? There's DW coming around. He's out there by himself in 5th place. He likes that spot. Nobody racing him right now. Just take it.
There's a great battle. All those cars you see racing for position. There we see Bobby Labonte going inside of Brett Bodine, took over the 6th spot.
Thank you, Andre. For those of you watching ESPN News, you now join the last lap and a half of this 300-kilometer race at Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma, and Bobby Labonte is spinning.
Oh, he just moved into 6th place. Oh, don't think he's done a lot of damage to the Interstate Battery Chevrolet, but he's lost a lot of positions.
Meanwhile, the leader is Mark Martin, and there is his advantage over Jeff Gordon as they go down through turn number 6, the carousel, hit the straightaway that connects 6 and 7. Running in 3rd place is Terry Labonte, and 4th is the 88 of Dale Jarrett. Now watch what happens to Bobby Labonte.
Ooh, he missed a shift.
Yep.
He missed a shift and just got his rhythm messed up, and around he goes. Going to 3rd gear there and just missed it.
So that moves the 11th car of Brett Bodine up, and Ted Musgrave and Ernie Irvin are having a battle for 8th position. There is Musgrave in the 16 and Irvin in the 28. Here are the top 2 as they hit corner number 11, and when they hit the stripe this time, they'll get the white flag.
And Gordon appears to be moving in just a little bit, Bob.
Could be a good last lap here. Here they come toward the start-finish line, and the white flag is showing. We've got one more lap, 2.52 miles to go.
Wow. Remember last year, Mark Martin looked like he had this thing won, got down to the carousel, slipped, and Dale Earnhardt got by. Now he's got to get around this course, make every shift, hit every braking point.
By the way, Bobby Watt dropped back to the 18th. Let's see. I'm sorry, to the 21st position. Last car on the lead lap. Not the last car, but 21st position.
Through turn 5, up the carousel, turn 6. This is right where Mark Martin last time slipped. This time he's dead on the inside. Going to turn 7, he makes it through fine. Remember Rusty Wallace making the mistake here earlier, turn 7? Smoking the tires. Boy, Jeff Gordon drives in there hard.
Oh, it really closes up now. They've got the S's to go. Let's see what happens. Gordon tried to go to the inside, couldn't make it happen.
His last shot to pass will be down into turn 11.
Mark Martin trying to break a 42-race winless streak. His last victory was at Charlotte in October of 1995. He didn't win a race all during 96. Here they come up through the S's now. Turn 10, and they're headed for that final opportunity. The best passing place is coming up. Jeff Gordon closes right in. He looks like he may try to go to the outside and pass Mark Martin. He's not going to do it, though, and he gets sideways coming off the corner, and that allows Mark Martin to take the checkered flag and win the Save Mart Supermarkets 300. And congratulations to Mark. The drought is over.
Did you see him just lay his head over and say, thank God?
Look at this finish. Ernie Irvin and Ted Musgrave. Several cars, Michael Waltrip, all there battling for position.
And Musgrave barely, I think Musgrave ran out of gas coming off the last corner, Ned.
Oh.
And Bill Weber is with Steve Meal.
Well, the water's flying around down here because Mark Martin's drought is over. Steve Meal, congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming. We were feeling real bad about not being in the Winston for not winning. They told us we were going to be in it anyway because we won a while ago or something, but we wanted to win this race so we could get into Winston like you're supposed to. And they talk about me being a real master strategist and all, but that last time when we stayed out, that wasn't Jimmy Finning, that wasn't Steve Meal. Jack Roush made that call.
Obviously, Mark's been somewhat frustrated through this string. Today, he drove a great Mark Martin race.
Well, Mark Martin's a great race car driver, and all we've had to do is put a good car under him. He wins in IROC, he's won the 24 Hours Daytona, he wins all those Busch races. All we had to do was get the car comfortable for him, and we were good at Texas and blew up. We came from the backstretch and run 4th at Bristol. We came from the backstretch and finished 3rd at Martinsville. We've been coming. We'd like to think we're going to be on a roll now, but it's a pleasure to work with these guys. Jimmy does a terrific job with the 6 car. The 16 ran great. The 99 was in good shape. All Jack's cars been real good, and we're happy we're going to Talladega next week and try again.
Victory lane's that way. Go find it. Steve Meal's on his way, and so's the rest of the 6 bunch as Mark Martin snaps the drought and wins at Sears Point.
And it's his 19th career NASCAR Winston Cup victory, and he's saluted by the drivers and the fans as he's on his cool-down lap. We'll be back in a moment. Well, the smile is on his face even now, and he isn't to victory lane yet. It's a long way around here at reduced speed, but Mark Martin has finally found his way to victory lane. This is for the 19th time in his NASCAR Winston Cup career, and as we said, the long drought is over.
Team. There's 2 relief people.
Yes.
He knew it was a matter of
3 relief people.
Jack Roush.
Long time no see.
Well, we've talked to him many times in victory lane in the Busch Series in the last year and a half, but not in NASCAR Winston Cup. Here he is, though. Here's our McDonald's Winner's Circle interview with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, the celebration will begin here right now and probably last for a couple of days at least, and well-deservedly so. Mark, the drought is over. Congratulations.
I asked him, did we win? I couldn't believe it. Arlene, Matt, I love you. I wish you were here. It's a great day for Jack Roush and Steve Meal. Jimmy Finning's first Winston Cup win. All these guys have been so much behind us, and Valvoline and Cummins finally got something to brag about. Goodyear had a great tire today, and Bugles and Bosch and all our supporters, Ford, we needed a win bad.
We talked to Steve Meal. He said, you know, we know one thing's for sure. With 2 laps to go, Mark's going to guard that inside groove in turn 6.
You can believe that. We weren't awesome today. It looked like we dominated, but Rusty had something for us, and I didn't think Jeff Gordon did, but You know, that kid's tough, man. He mustered something for the last lap. I knew he was. I knew he didn't have much, but I knew he'd take a run at us on the last lap, and it's going to be hard to pass me.
Hey, 19 months ago, the last win. Enjoy this one, my friend. You earned it.
Thank you. I can't believe it.
Well, the celebration will begin for Mark Martin, 19th career win. And believe me, emotions behind those sunglasses, there are very, very moist eyes. Let's go to Bill Weber with the second place finisher.
And Jeff Gordon is here at the gas pumps cooling off a little bit. And what'd you say? You didn't have a chance to catch him, but what?
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I thought I'd just make it look like I did.
You were better on long runs.
You know, we were real good on long runs, and we knew that yesterday in practice. And, you know, the first set of tires got loose on us, and that hurt us all day long. We had to fight back. There were very few cautions. But there at the end, you know, hey, the car is pretty good. I could stay with him. I just tried to put the pressure to him and hope that he'd make a mistake. But Mark's smooth. He's good. And, you know, he didn't make any mistakes. Not any that will let me get by him anyway.
Well, obviously, overall, a great day for you, though. We talked before the race. You'd like to get that win, but this is another good, solid finish for you. It snaps your streak of 2 in a row, though.
Well, this is a great run for us. I tell you what, the DuPont Automotive Fisher Chevrolet was awesome today. The guys in the pits did an excellent job. I mean, this was a complete day. We just came up one short, but we're getting one spot closer to that road course win, and we'll go after them in Watkins Glen.
Okay, and we'll see you at Talladega next week.
Okay, we'll see you there.
That's Jeff Gordon. He finishes second.
So, Mark Martin wins, Jeff Gordon second, Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip complete the top 5, and we will be back to Sears Point in a moment to wrap it up. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Mart Supermarkets 300 from Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma, California. Being brought to you by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. By Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. And by Team Monte Carlo, Chevy, the cars more champions trust. Let's take a look at the unofficial results here this afternoon. Mark Martin wins the race and collects the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Gordon is second, then Labonte, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip.
Brett Bodine, Michael Waltrip, Ernie Irvin, Jeff Burton, Ward Burton, and Ted Musgrave, I think, lost about 3 spots on that last lap.
See Kyle Petty there in 13th. Jimmy Spencer and Wally Dallenbach came home in 15th place.
16 through 30 included Mike Skinner, Steve Grissom. Now 26 cars finished on the lead lap. Jeremy Mayfield, the first car not on the lead lap, finishes in 27th position. And the attrition wasn't all that bad here this afternoon. Gunselman, Robbie Gordon, Hooper, Bradbury, and Bodine did not finish the race. There are the points. Mark Martin with the victory picked up 1 spot into 4th position. Bobby Labonte back to 5th. Burton, Earnhardt, Ward Burton, Bobby Hamilton, and Ricky Rudd complete the top 10. Next Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on the Deuce, it's NASCAR Today, followed by our live flag-to-flag coverage of the Winston 500 from Talladega Super Speedway at 1:30 Eastern Time here on ESPN. SportsCenter is coming up next here on ESPN with all the results from the world of sports on this Sunday afternoon. The drought is over for Mark Martin. He wins this race here this afternoon. I'm Bob Jenkins. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.